Good morning, folks. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday morning. Somebody asked me just recently, what is going on in this world and who or what is behind all of this? And folks, I don't begin to understand all of the politics that are taking place behind the scenes, all the international politics. Who knows exactly every element that's involved in this worldwide pandemic? I know there are conspiracy theorists out there. Um, I the reality is, I don't know. But what I have to ask myself is, can God take a bad situation, a situation where sin was done, a situation perhaps where even evil took place, and turn it for good? I'm reminded of a story in Genesis of a man by the name of Joseph. If you're not familiar with the story, Joseph was one of 12 brothers. He was the favorite son of his father, and his other brothers hated him. And he was actually, and just to do a very quick version of the story for you, his brothers actually sold him into slavery. And he was sold to an Egyptian, to a man by the name of Potiphar, who was the chief of Pharaoh's guard. He serves in Potiphar's house doing great, and then Potiphar's wife lies about him, accuses him unjustly. He's thrown in prison. And he's there for years until finally God exalts him to number 2 in command of Egypt. And after some years, he is brought face to face with his brothers again. His brothers had acted wickedly. His brothers had sinned grievously against him. And his brothers are scared to death when they find out who he is, who it is they're dealing with. And Joseph looks at them and he says this in Genesis chapter 50 and verse 20. You meant evil unto me, but God meant it for good. And the whole story of Joseph is God working out good things in spite of men's evil deeds. Folks, I don't know what God is trying to accomplish in your life through this pandemic, through these stay-at-home orders, through this economic collapse that we're experiencing right now, through sky-high unemployment, through the loss of your job, through the loss perhaps of a family member to this virus, through whatever personal loss that you are experiencing. But you look at Joseph, and we would be justified. We don't know what he was thinking. The Bible doesn't record it for us. But he would be justified, humanly speaking, several times going, God, where are you? What are you doing? What is going on? And yet we get to the end of that story, and we see God working good in spite of the evil actions of men. And folks, I don't know, we might not know until we get to heaven the good that God is working through our circumstances. However, we do know that God is good all of the time, and that he can take the worst of circumstances and change them and work them out for our good and his glory. And my encouragement to you this week is to look for the good, to look for the good in what God is doing around you right now, to look for where he's at work, and to acknowledge that he is good all of the time, even during the most difficult circumstances. And I'll tell you what, when you get your perspective back on the goodness of God, all of a sudden life doesn't seem so awful and so difficult. Let's keep our eyes on God's goodness, on what he is trying to accomplish in and through this. May God be glorified through each one of our lives. God bless you. Hope you have a fantastic day today.